Hi, welcome to my channel, Emily's Heirloom Kitchen. I'm Emily. Today I'm going to make for you my grandma's braciole. I love this recipe. It's a family favorite. It's my husband's absolute favorite. So I'm going to show you how I do it. It's just going to be like a rolled stuffed meat. That's what a braciole is. And for the filling, I'm going to use Parmesan, raisins, parsley, and breadcrumbs. About a half a cup each of those. 2 boxes, 1/4 cup of raisins, however many you like. My husband loves it with the raisins. I'm gonna go a little raisin heavy. For the meat, I like to get this one my store has. It's already cut, sliced, nice and thin, ready to go. It really cuts down on the prep time. It makes it easy to do on a weeknight, you know, when the family's all home for dinner. And for the sauce, I'm gonna use 2 small cans, 1 stewed, 1 crushed. I really like the flavor the stewed tomato gives to it. Again, it just kind of helps elevate the flavor, kind of little built-in flavor already there. You don't have to do too much legwork for that one. We're gonna deglaze the pan with the red wine. It's gonna add a lot of depth, a lot of flavor, gonna be real bold. Don't forget your garlic. It is an Italian dish after all. To get started, I'm gonna chop up my onion and garlic and set it aside. I'm only gonna be using half of the onion for the 2 cans of tomato. If I was cooking for a crowd, I'd use 4 cans of tomato and the whole onion. I don't want these too big and chunky. I want them to, you know, break down and simmer down into the sauce. So this looks good to me. Put these in my bowl. Okay, now my garlic. The more you cook with me, the more you're gonna find I love garlic. I'll always throw in an extra clove and I'll cut it nice and chunky. I'm not afraid to taste it. They have all these little gadgets to get the skin off, but then you're stuck cleaning it. It gets all sticky. Just crush it with your knife and pull it off. It's the easiest way. I've tried them all. This is the best. All right, like I said, I'm just gonna do kind of a rough chop on my garlic. It's gonna cook down in the sauce. All right, I'm just gonna go through it 1 time, maybe twice. Alrighty, that looks good. We'll set this aside with our onion. So you have to tie these up after you stuff them and roll them so that they don't come apart in the cooking. So I'm gonna go ahead and pre-cut my string. I've got about 6 or 7 slices of meat in there, so I'm gonna cut 14. If you don't have any string, you could put a toothpick in it. I've done that before. It works just fine. So let's just get our string ready. I've laid out my meat on the cutting board to make it easy. I was able to fit it all on here. I can do it all in one go. I'm gonna start by spraying it with a little bit of olive oil. I'm gonna go in with some salt, and don't worry about the other side. We're gonna season that side when we stick it in the pan. So let's just go down with a little bit of sea salt. All right, let's start putting in all that flavor. Chopped parsley. Sprinkle it on. Make sure you chop enough that you have some to garnish with when you're all said and done. Okay, we'll go in with the raisins next. Like I said, my husband loves the raisins. I'm gonna go a little raisin heavy. This helps sweeten it. Alrighty, breadcrumbs. I have plain. You can use Italian breadcrumbs. It really doesn't matter. Whichever you have is fine. I'm just gonna do it till I like the way it looks. All right, I like that. I'm gonna go just One more little light spray of olive oil over my breadcrumbs. If you're using a nice good olive oil, it will add flavor. Now your Parmesan. Don't be shy. Okay, I think that looks good. You're gonna wanna start with the tip and roll it. Okay. I'm gonna roll them all and tie them at the end. Make sure we don't leave anything behind. Now that they're all rolled, I'm gonna salt them and get them into the pot. All right, roll it over and get the other side. Looks good. I got the stove on medium high. I'm gonna go in the pan with a nice heavy coating of oil. You want the whole bottom of the pan coated. You don't want your meat sticking. All right, that looks good. Let this heat up a little, and then we're gonna start searing our meat. It's starting to look loose and glassy. I think it's ready. You're gonna wanna get a good sear on all of them. These are small, they're all gonna fit in the pot at once. But you know, don't overcrowd your pot, it'll cool it off. Like I said, these are small, they're all gonna fit. Don't be afraid to get some good color on them. Color equals flavor. All right, let's check one of them. We could probably go a little longer. Check the ones on the outside first. They're gonna be the ones that get done quicker. Still not quite ready. They're getting some good color on them now. Make sure that you press them down too so you get a nice good sear all the way through. See that color? That's what you want. Press it down. Okay, we'll let those go for just another quick minute, and then we're gonna transfer them to a dish and get our onion and garlic in there. Okay, they look good on both sides. Let's pull them out, put them on our plate. In with our onion and garlic. Get that moving around. I love the smell of cooking onion and garlic. At this point, I'm also going to salt and pepper my aromatics. I want to layer in the flavor every step of the way. That's really what's going to make it good in the end. Now because we added the garlic at the same time, let's keep a good eye on it. We don't want that garlic to burn. But because it's going to be cooking for so long, I'm not too worried about how soft the onions get. Keeping an eye on that garlic. I'm going to go in with my wine. 1/3 to 1/2 cup. Okay, make sure you get all those sticky bits off the bottom of your pan now. Probably get something a little stronger. There, that's better. I can feel them coming up now. I think most of the alcohol is about burned off. Doesn't smell like alcohol anymore. It just smells good. That color's starting to change too. I'm gonna turn it down just a hair to medium. I'm gonna go in with my tomatoes. And because this is going to be cooking for so long, I am going to add about 1/2 cup to 1 cup of water. We don't want it to get too thick and evaporate before it's done. This is going to be cooking away for 2 to 3 hours. So I'm going to go in with my water. Stir this up. We're going to bring this up to a simmer and cover it and let it go for 20 minutes before we add in our meat. It's been 20 minutes. Let's check on this sauce and get our meat in the pot. At this point, you can break up those big chunks of tomato that are in there. They're going to continue to break down as it goes. I'm not too worried about them if they're still big and chunky. Make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. I think it can go down a little lower as well. Let's get this meat in the pot. You're going to want to make sure that they're all the way covered. You want them submerged in the sauce so they can get nice and tender. All right, perfect. Now these are going to go low and slow, about 2 to 3 hours on a medium low heat. You can do this in the oven too if you'd like. You'd want to set your oven to 325 and do 2 to 3 hours as well. They're in, they're covered with sauce. I'm going to put the lid on and let them go for about 2.5 hours before I check on them again. It's been 2 hours. I'm going to go in and check, see how they're doing. Oh, it smells amazing. All right, nothing stuck to the bottom. That's good. Sauce is getting nice and thick. I'm gonna go in with the toothpick. Goes right in. They're toothpick tender, which means they're fork tender. You can just cut it with a fork and eat it, and that's exactly what we want. Now, because my pieces of meat were thin and so small, that's why they only needed 2 hours. If you were using thicker cuts of meat, it'd probably need that full 3. We're gonna take this off the heat and let it set for 20 minutes. And then we're gonna plate it up and have a bite. When they're cool enough to touch, you're gonna wanna skim the fat off the top and cut the strings off your braciole. It's all plated up and ready to go. Tonight I'm having it with crusty bread, but I also enjoy this with broccoli salad or even a Caesar salad or pasta. It's whatever you like. Let's cut into it and see how it looks. I can see the filling, the raisins, the breadcrumbs. All looks really good. I know it's gonna be good. Let's give it a taste. So tender. Oh, there we go. You're gonna love it. I know you will. If you like this recipe, maybe consider giving my page a like and a subscribe. And if you love this recipe, pass it on. See y'all next time.